Only and his guests are not responsible for any losses you may accrue for having weak hands. Where the haters at? Yeah, bitches still ain't showed up. And now, right, we got Hex, flawless uptime. People thought this was a joke. Now they're mad at the chart. It's lullaby music, really, right? It's hard to believe that something like this exists. I get it, but you just gotta come to terms with reality. It just exists. Nothing we can do about it. Buy, steak, and chill, baby. Shout out to Marketable Thoughts. This is Whales Only. Glad you guys can make it out. I'm making some claims that are pretty outlandish, but I can back them up. Boom. End of story. There is no other crypto out there, so don't get it twisted. If you don't understand where you're parking your money, you're going to pay the consequences for that. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. Boom. Right? The reality is that I want to be rich as fuck. There's only one way to be rich as fuck. That's by sitting on your ass the longest. Yep. That's it. Yep. That's the secret. The guy well told you. Richard done told you. I done told you. Kareem done told you. Maddie done told you. Everybody done told you. Everybody done told you. These motherfuckers still acting like they don't know. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
100% safe. There's plenty of games left.
Valiant done told you. Yo, everybody said it. Man, hey, you know what it is, man? Everybody done told you. Y'all's deep. Everybody. My God. Ex-Asians, bro. Everybody. Australians, man. Everybody gets me. Yo, when is it told you? Dollar told you. Everybody done told you. It's crazy. What up, fam? I hope everybody's having a good Monday evening. I figured I'd just get this all out because it's been a while, couple weeks, maybe month. Things are falling into place, you know. And I see things that are lining up to lead to a weird scenario that I'm not sure, how positive or negative the outcome is going to be from the scenario. But I foresee the following happening. I just want to start off with this off the bat. Because I just see it. I mean, every single thing we see, just come on. So, what is it? I don't see us having an election in 2024. That's what I see. Sounds crazy, but when you look at what's happening now, a year from then, there's no way. There's just no way. Because they're already trying to find ways to get people to put masks on. And it's just not going to happen. So they're going to have to go really out of their way to make it work. And that means crazy shit got to go down. We already see what's happening with these laser impact situations. Right? And you guys know I know how to say everything without saying it. So you're welcome. That's why I'm still flying high and never been banned. Your boy knows what the fuck he's doing. You gotta realize that. That comes with some finessing. Because I talk about everything. I don't give a shit. It's important that people understand what's going on. And this is the most widely abused platform. Now, here's something I do want to touch on before we do move on, because I'm gonna talk about all the things that lead me to that idea. It's very important that people understand that, eventually Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, is going to be restricted. I talked about this a long time ago. They're just trying to make it a WeChat. So you make sure you get yourself a true social account. It's going to be important in the future. Might even be the only place where people can communicate at some point because, again, they're already trying to mask people. It's not going to work. So what's the alternative, right? Because they own everything. Think about it. All these big corporations are the ones that shut everything down. Because guess who stayed open for them 2 3 years? It was them. They didn't suffer at all, and it's very important people realize that because they're trying to go down that route again, and all you gotta do is just ignore it because it's clearly ridiculous. I mean, look, at work, I tell you, I'm unique, right? Because I'm clearly not a fucking NPC. So, you know, I'm gonna have to get nasty about this shit, because I just don't tolerate it, right? I can't. I don't have. I can't even stop thinking about it. I immediately came up with a fucking solution to have these little cocksuckers shut the fuck up because I really hate NPCs. I really dislike them. Um, today I had to hear this verbatim. Somebody said, "Yeah, they're saying Corona's making a comeback," and somebody said, "For the love of God, I am not lying." Somebody said it never left. It never left. That is what this fucking person had the audacity to say. It never left. What? Oh my god. I'm sorry, people. I'm so sorry, but I'm a moving laugher. If I'm really fucking tickled by something, I'm all over the place. There's just nothing I can do about it. It's natural. I mean, you gotta be shitting me. To be able to be a human being, adults that is living in. I mean, you can't be living here. I don't know what that motherfucker must be high all the time. Cause, yo, come on. Everything opened back up. Everybody's alive and well. What the fuck are you talking about? Because everybody's supposed to be dead. Let's not forget that. All the unvaxxed people, all of us purebloods, us PBs, no J's. We supposed to be dead, almost 2 years dead now. Don't forget. Don't forget. We're supposed to all be long gone. This is important because this is coming back. No doubt about it. They got no choice but to try to push this shit. Because there's no other thing that they can do. There's too many people. That's literally the problem. And the funny thing is that that's also their problem right now. Because with everything they do, all they do is wake up more people. So, you know, it's kind of funny. It's it's funny, so I don't know, whatever. But the thing is that they're just gonna try to mask people mostly because they know they can't lock people down. They know they're not gonna be able to do that shit twice. They're not. But they're gonna try their damnedest to go that route. Right? And that's really the key thing to understand. Because it's really simple. You just ignore it. They're gonna issue commands and make their usual cries and cry wolf and all that shit. All you gotta do is ignore, not comply, and keep it moving because they can't force you to do anything. You gotta realize there's a reason they left all that Rona language in place. They never removed it from anywhere because again, they own everything. So when they say duck, they gonna want you to fucking duck. You gotta say fuck you. I wish more people would walk through the fucking what do you call it? The regular metal detector or whatever, I guess search or whatever it is on the side instead of going through the X-ray machine. Because that X-ray machine, you don't know what it's doing to you. We subject ourselves to a lot of things that we don't know what the long-term impacts are. We don't, because it's still new technology. We haven't gone through a whole generation of people using a lot of these things yet, and people are just fuck it about it. There's a cost to every action, people.
For every force, it's an equal and opposite natural force, which is an opposite reaction, right? And you guys know that Newton's law. I'm gonna go into it, and this is important to understand. This is real. This is not. I mean, even when you act good or bad, it comes back to you, whether you mean it to or not. Irrelevant. It's gonna come back to you one way or the other. Trust me on that one. That shit is verified, certified, and legit to minds in all aspects of life. So you a dick, shit will happen to you or your family, guaranteed, because you a piece of shit. That's just how it works. Sad state of affairs, because life is so easy, but people like to make it difficult. And people that make others' lives difficult, they don't really have a good life either. That's why they're miserable, and they continue to try to make other people's miserable. So it becomes this never-ending cycle, unfortunately. Anyway, these are the things that we're literally living under, right? Because we're being attacked psychologically, emotionally, in ways that they are not physically controllable, right? You can't say, let me turn this shit to the left or right. You can't adjust it. You have to be mentally aware of what is going on in order to understand and not be impacted by it. Otherwise, you don't have a clue. You're just going with the flow. Trust me, I know. Give me a second, guys. I gotta pick up this call. I'm very sorry. Let me put on one of the songs. I'm gonna put on Everybody Done Told You because that's everybody's favorite. Be right back.
Right? The reality is that I want to be rich as fuck. There's only one way to be rich as fuck. That's by sitting on your ass the longest.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
That's the secret. The God well told you. Richard done told you. I done told you. Kareem done told you. Maddie done told you. Everybody done told you. Everybody done told you. These motherfuckers still acting like they don't know. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
100% safe. There's plenty of games left.
Valiant done told you. Yo, everybody said it. Man, hey, you know what it is, man? Everybody done told you. Y'all's deep, man. Sure have, haven't we? So yeah, let's get back to it. There's a lot of things happening, right? So keep an eye out. Be aware, be attentive. Otherwise it's going to be difficult for you to defend yourself. And that's essentially the point of what I'm trying to relay. Because it's coming. And employers are not going to give a shit. Because they are part of the problem. They are not a part of the solution. You guys have already seen all the case law that's been floating around where everybody lost that imposed and inflicted anything Rona. So this should be easy. All right, end of that. Let's talk about Hex for a little bit. Whoever's staked, right, is really winning hardcore because what's happening is that every single day that passes, their balance is growing a little bit more, right, in dollar terms, which we don't give a fuck about because that's not the multiplier, right? We care about the force multiplier, right? We care about the convex trade. We care about the convex returns. We care about the chunky returns. We want to eat fat and good, right? Not like fucking poor scrubs that got to make the fucking pigeon songs. We ain't got shit else to do, right? We want to eat like fucking kings, whatever that is to you. Generational wealth. And stake your claim in a system that you know is fit and built for the long term. Because all that information is readily available. You can see it. You know the system is underutilized. All the metrics showed it on my charts from I don't know how many months ago, 3, 4, 5 months ago. We see that everything has been drastically reduced.
You don't need a chart set update for that. This is obvious. So that reduces the crowding out, if that makes sense. So if you think about this like a pie, right? There's already less than 9 million, excuse me, there's already less than 10 million T shares that have been sitting in that pool for months already. I think it happened back in March or something. It's been months already. People just noticed the other day. Maybe it was May. It was already a long time ago. People are just noticing. Now, in this final or recent leg down that we've been seeing, there's been a great reduction in the holder count, stake account, excuse me, in the stake account, not the holder count. The holder count has actually increased. Then the stake account has decreased. And that's important because that's the winning lane, right? If you're a liquid holder, you're getting diluted because everybody else's bag is getting bigger than yours. And again, it's a dilution in the sense that that's what you're choosing. You're not essentially getting diluted. Your bag is just not going to be big as the next guy's because you're not choosing to earn yield during your holding period. So it's essentially a proverbial dilution. It's because you're still earning, right? But you're only earning your ROI based on your holding, not based on your staking. Because the staking, you earn the regular ROI of the price performance plus the additional coins, which is the force multiplier, right? So this is important to understand because, having access to your coins is cool, but if you understand the system, you understand that staking is so much better because you can essentially DCA into retirement, man. You don't even got to fucking sweat it. And I mean, with any little bit of money, especially now with Pulse Chain, right? With Pulse Chain now on deck, it's a game over. There's no excuse for the noobs. They can stake them $100, no problem. I'm seeing people fucking trading, less than a penny, so I don't want to hear none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy out there in the streets. Just seen a trade, 17 cents, $9.50, $3.92. So you get the drill, right? Take care of yourself. Think about your future. Think about your kids' future. Think about building a foundation because we've lived in a society where that's not what you do. And clearly that's not the solution, right? All this short-termism, consumerism, obey, fucking follow the media, follow the fucking crowd, follow the Joneses, whatever you want to call it. That shit it's not winning. That's not how you win. It's just not, right? That's clearly not how you win. Putting your head down, putting in work, ignoring the world, finding that internal progress that shows you're getting better at whatever you're trying to do. That is how you win, right? And this is essentially what Hex does. It has a value that sustains the system over time in crypto terms because we understand that the dollar is a failing nexus of the financial ecosystem that we are thrust into upon birth. So the objective for everyone once they figure out the game is to do what? Find more fiat dollars because they know that working isn't enough. Like that's already common knowledge. People understand this going back to the 60s. This is where all these great poker players come from back then. So you guys got to understand this shit is coming to a head. Opportunity is over as far as the fiat is concerned. The reason we're going to benefit in such a great fashion is because we are smart enough to understand how Hex works and take advantage of the T-share system. So we get paid X number of coins multiplied by the number of T-shares every single day. It's a beautiful thing because that means our bag grows every single day in crypto terms by Y amount because it's a function. It's two variables. It's not just one. It's the number of Hex that the T-share is paying out multiplied by the number of T-shares that you have. So if you have 100 T-shares and you just got paid 6.86 Hex and 6.56 5 7 hex on two chains. I mean that's 200. You know what I'm saying? Multiplied by 657, and you're getting 657 and 686. That's 1200 hex in one day. What do you think that means when it does a 10x, 20x, 30x, 40x, 50x, 60x? Because people figure it out. What do you think that means? I mean, I honestly don't understand what is hard to grasp, and I'm fairly confident that the majority of the people watching this stream are not included in this problem set or this data set that I'm currently going to mention. But I just don't grasp why people have a hard time understanding the Bitcoin trade, but better, because that's exactly what hex is. I mean, I don't know. That's exactly what it is. I don't know why it's complicated for people to get that, because that's entirely the idea behind hex, is to delay gratification. You stake your coins, you mint them, you burn them, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. The whole point is you get a T-share once you do this activity where you swap your coins out for that other thing that's called a T-share, where the system then starts clocking your time. And the longer the time is that you do in the system, the more you earn, not only daily, but also in terms of crypto, but also for the duration of your stake. Because look, I'm a fan, you guys know I'm a fan of the max duration stake. Because guess what? What if this does work out? You're going to sure as hell wish you had 15-year stakes. No doubt about it. So why even fuck around? Why even fuck around? I just don't get it. If you have the ability to wait it out, I highly suggest you have as many of those long-term stakes as possible, because you'd be a fool not to have them. And that's just real talk. I'm not saying put 100% of your bag in there like me, but you better have as much as you can, because you're going to wish you fucking did if you're living that long. I promise you that shit. Promise you that. Because if you don't look at what the prices is doing today and nothing changes, meaning that we still using fiat in 15 years, man, you're going to wish you had some motherfucking T-shirts for sure. No motherfucking doubt about it. Be a dumbass not to. I mean, legit, straight up motherfucking moron. Because guess what? Fiat is a divided. It's a what's the word? It's a reductive value system, right? Like, it only decreases in value over time. Your purchasing power never ever increases. It only goes down. You only need more fiat to live. You never need less. This is essentially true for 99% of the population. So all of these things are going to impact society, right? And if you're not prepared by at least having yourself some crypto, and assume that things do happen to stay in the straight and narrow, and things do go on, because I mean, it's honestly up to us. The crypto is a bet on humanity in many ways, right? I don't know if that's clear. I've never even said that, but that's ultimately what it is. Real crypto is a bet on freedom, and I don't know, we're gonna get into it. But you guys got to understand what's happening out here in these streets. They're literally trying to lock everybody's access down as much as possible. If you don't know, they're taking away firearm dealer licenses from firearm dealers because they couldn't stop people from buying them. So let's shut the businesses down instead. That is what's happening, you see? And these businesses, in most cases, aren't going to be, they're just business owners. They just sell guns. They don't know shit else in most cases. So these are going to be small people. As far as small, I mean, in terms of understanding the situation, not understanding that they have a right to fight that they don't have to close, that it's unlawful. That order is unlawful. Getting their license taken is unlawful. They can fight that, appeal that, and win. So a lot of businesses are about to start going out of business just for the fuck of it, just because they feel like it. Pretty much. And this is exactly what we saw from 2020 to 2023. Right? So when you look at the landscape of what's happening right now, you got all these bootleg fires, which are clearly invoked natural disasters. There's no doubt about it. Right? They keep raising rates no matter where you look, right? Which is putting pressure on the monetary system. It doesn't help it because other economies are now saying, yo, we can't and we will not tolerate this crudelty, basically. The US is so flagrant with how it pushes the levers. And it's because that US dollar is the measuring stick for everything else. So if that doesn't go the way it's supposed to, everybody else is going to complain. And it's gotten to the point that they have no choice but to do bricks and all this stuff. They really don't. And that's the thing that I don't think people realize because they don't understand the math behind fiat, right? Very few people do. Unless unless you've lived in two countries or been between two and traveled around or whatever, you're not going to know. You're just not going to know. You're going to think that whatever's going on is normal and it's not. It's just not. People not being able to survive is not normal. There is more than enough food and resources to go around. The notion of scarcity is false. It is inaccurate. It's been proven so many times, and if you just look around, you'll see. Come on, man. Look at all the empty apartment buildings, apartments, houses. And I mean, empty in the sense that they're empty because people can't afford to live there. They're empty because they're unaffordable. They're empty because the money that we think is money is not. That's the reality. So we got to fix the problem by choosing better money. That's the only way. Policy and reform and all these stupid terms, all this elaborate hoopla, all this smoke and mirrors doesn't fucking cut it. And that's just what it is. If it did, we wouldn't be having this conversation. You wouldn't even know who the hell I am. For what? There is nobody that's going to save you. People have to make a literal, competent decision and say, I'm not going to participate in this BS system anymore. I mean, we are born into a system that wants you to think that you are incapable of damn near everything. I mean, that's so ludicrous. Think about that for a second. I mean, you're born incapable of even uttering a word or a sound, except crying. Because that is just natural. But to form a thought and all that, right, and then communicate and all, you can't do that when you're born. And eventually you become capable of it. And you become capable of walking, moving around, etc., right? So everything is a process. And the process either continues or stalls based on you. I like to think of myself as certifiable proof of that. Because I was an ignorant fuck. Boy, was I an ignorant fuck. In a lot of ways, I still am. So, everybody's a work in progress. And these are things that are just true, folks. And once you learn to look at the truth, that's how you make adjustments and that's how you crush things in life. Otherwise, you just stuck making the same crummy decisions that don't help you improve your situation at all. And you're looking at other people flying by saying, what the hell is going on, man? What am I doing wrong? And it's just that you're not getting out of your own way in most cases. Sad but true. Because, in a lot of ways, people make decisions that aren't even for themselves. They're for other people. So you got to make sure that you got to learn how to be selfish. That's probably the best life advice I could give anybody. You gotta learn how to be selfish because then you're gonna be like, damn, why didn't I? No matter what, even if it was for an altruistic reason, you gotta be. You can't. You can't do it. You gotta just be, especially if it's something that's really you, and that's really what I mean, right? Like if you know it's something you want to do because it's you, you fucking do it, man. Don't not do it. Don't not do it, and the hell be the consequences. Fuck the consequences. You gotta just do it because when you get older, it's gonna bother you. So, anyways, all of that is to say, put in work now so you don't suffer later. Because let's hope I'm wrong. Let's hope I'm wrong. I did a stream. I did a stream of this type literally 2 years ago. Literally 2 years ago. I did a whole stream on how shit was gonna start going on and going haywire and all. And look at where we're at. I mean, it's a joke. It happens every day, everywhere. I mean, wasn't it? I think there was mudslides in L.A., hurricane, earthquake yesterday, all in L.A., all of it, L.A. You got these lantern flies over here in New York. I don't know what the fuck is up with this shit. I was outside a little bit, and they're all over the fucking place. I was like in attack mode for like fucking 5 minutes. It was crazy. People were looking at me like I was crazy, but they don't know. There was a bunch of tourists. You know what I'm saying? And it was bananas, yo. It was crazy. It was crazy. Like it was a bunch, and there was a bunch like under a vehicle. I don't know. It really seemed to me like somebody just dropped that shit there. Like somebody just dumped them shits there. That's what it seemed like because they just kept coming out, and I kept stomping them. So fuck. I mean, it's like a locust event, and I think that's part of the Revelation story, ain't it? For those Bible minded, it's wild, man. It's wild out here. You guys make sure you hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let's get this information out there to the people. Cause it's about to get live, man. You guys see what they're doing. They're trying to drop bodies and all of that. They killed the fucking chef for Christ's sake. A freaking chef, man. A fucking cook. This dude made fucking pancakes for a living, for fuck's sake. You kidding me? Oh boy. Alright, let's look at some data, folks. And what we're gonna do today is gonna be a little different, but I think it's gonna be interesting. Cause it's gonna be yeah, let's just do it. Let's do it. Here we go. We're gonna share my tweet deck, and we're gonna go over some headlines, essentially. Let me put myself in the thing. How do I do that again? Let's see. Bam. All right, guys. So what we're gonna do today is we're going to try to time sequence these headlines just to see if they line up. Now, this Kobisi letter, whatever, isn't gonna be like the Zero Hedge or Watcher Guru or Unusual Whales, right? It's not gonna be anything like that. They're going to be completely different. And of course, these also have their own sequence. They're not going to be issuing tweets all day, all the time. Some days they do, as you guys can tell in the Unusual Whales. Yesterday they were active relative to today where they only had one tweet. So just some things to understand, right? But the whole point is we want to see the coincidence rate on these headlines, right? Because most of the time they're issuing all this shit at the same time. All this stuff is coordinated. It happens in concert. They want to make sure they get people acting in accordance with what they want. So they got to issue this shit at the same time. Think about it. It wouldn't make sense otherwise, in my opinion. Let's see here. And of course, it's just my opinion. So we got Zero Hedge, we got Watch It Out Guru, and as you guys can see across the top of my tweet that you can see the titles of the columns. Unusual whales. I guess I should move this because Blockworks isn't really active like that. It's more holistic information. Let me see. Nope. Coinbase is taking an equity stake in Circle. Oh, we're gonna talk about that. All right. Stepping is going to step in. Oh, yeah, you guys have fun with that shit. Anyway, all right. Let's see. So we got Disclosed TV and the Insider Paper. So we got several sources here to track across, right? And we're gonna try to just see if any of these scenarios coalesce in terms of timestamps. Maybe within a half hour or so, an hour, something like that. All right, so we're gonna start with Zero Hedge, and here we got inflation labeled. So finance headlines for Zero Hedge, right? They're not gonna match with anything else out here, so we can ignore those. Uh, and this one seems like a finance one. Inflation labeled a right wing talking point in response to his to hit working class song. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of this Oliver North song. I don't know the name of it right now. I'm sorry, but it's a good song. It's an amazing song. If you haven't heard it, I highly recommend you listen to it. It's not gonna be unfamiliar to you at all, and that's exactly why it's the number one song in the nation, hands down. It's the number one song. So search that song, take a listen, understand that you're not the only person that sees what's going on, which is why you're here, dabbling in crypto. Other people see it too. I mean, I know we all go food shopping. I hear people complaining about prices. They out here doing the motherfucking math, yo. They don't give a fuck if they're holding up lines. I'm telling you because I just went through it today. Where the fuck did I go? Oh, I wanted to get some dinner, right? And this old dude just there arguing about this big ass order he's making. And I mean, this poor girl. I walk in, you know what I'm saying? I'm just chilling. I ain't never in no rush. I own time. So I'm just chilling and they like, yo, what you want? Trying to rush me, to get what I want. And I'm like, all right, da 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 da. And Shorty didn't even get my order. Somebody else had to fill the shit because she was still stuck with dude. So anyway, the dude and her were talking about like fucking 10 items at once. It was insane. The cost of the shit was also insane, right? But again, it's a sign of the times, and this is what people need to understand because ultimately, people are going to become unhinged because they're not going to be able to survive. I mean, fuck, hold on. I know you guys are seeing them TikTok videos they're posting online. I know you're seeing them where you got girls crying, not understanding why the fuck the cost of living in Canada is so stupid. And yet they have jobs and careers and degrees and all this shit. People are not, they're not able to see the issue because they haven't traveled elsewhere and been able to done the math. They just, it's one of those things where, we're about to really see what people are made of. We really are. And we're already starting with the crying. The crying people are the first ones to go, people. They're the first ones to go. Look, let me tell you guys a story. Uh, uh, when I was young, I used to get in a lot of trouble, right? So, cops and shit, right? So when you little and you don't really understand what you're doing, and you don't understand that all you gotta do is just shut up and not say nothing, you're gonna cry, right? And this is what you see people that are unhinged do. This is why they get in trouble. You got snitching and shit like that. That's ultimately what that boils down to. That's where that comes from. people that don't know that all they gotta do is not say nothing and nothing happens. That's it. No information means nothing. Exactly that. So they can't do shit. So anyway, um, when you don't know and you put yourself in these situations where you're not capable of getting yourself out of what you got yourself into, you gotta try to prevent that type of situation from ever happening to you. Because in the real world, you don't know if there's an out if you don't know. And whoever the prey or the predator is across from you, because at that moment you're prey, right? At that point in time, you are now officially prey. You'll never want to be prey. Trust me. It's not a good feeling. You don't ever want to be prey. So that means you gotta educate yourself because that's the only way to not succumb to what's coming. Because it's coming. And they're not taking any shorts, man. You see it all over. There's more homeless people outside than ever before. The price of food is skyrocketing. Crime is at all time high everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Major corporations are shutting down their little stores and every wherever they have to in major cities. Basically, Chicago, L.A., California in general is a mess. You name it, it's happening. I don't know what Florida looking like. I think it's different down there. I don't think they got the crime issue and stuff like that. But I don't really look at Florida because whatever. I don't really care about it. I only really look like as far as Georgia. And I know Georgia's hot. Atlanta is fucking falling apart. So it's crazy down there, man. It's crazy everywhere. And the sad part is that if more people just got involved, none of this would happen because whoever's doing it, A, wouldn't be able to because B, there'd be too many people in the way. Just like they're in the way and they're just able to do whatever they want. They're able to do that because they know nobody's going to retaliate or stop them or do anything. They know that. It happens every freaking day of the year of our lives where nothing happens. Nobody calls an action. No, none of the people that can do, right? Because apparently normal people don't matter. So if we're not willing and capable of organizing to stop tyranny, right? Because that's literally what the fuck we're living to. I mean, come on, let's be serious. Um, what's the future look like? Not a good one. It can't look good. There is not one individual that's gonna save everyone. It's just not gonna happen. Because what's gonna happen then is we're gonna go from one extreme to the next. Because that's the cycle. That's the political cycle, right? Because there doesn't need to be conservatism. There doesn't need to be liberalism. It just needs to be people being left the fuck alone and motherfuckers that need to get taken care of getting taken care of and trash getting taken care of and water getting issued and fucking sanitation and beautification and basic shit, man. All this stealing motherfuckers' money to pay for another motherfucker life, dead, kill it, done. No, go get a fucking job. It's ridiculous. It's so if so many people, and I know this to be a fact, that weren't fucking robbing from that shit, that didn't need to be on it, weren't doing it, it wouldn't be such a drain on society. But because so many people are on this shit, like rich, wealthy people that don't need to be on it are on it, gotta abolish it. It got to go. All this crap gotta go. It doesn't add value. I mean, what the hell are we even talking about, right? It's so ridiculous. It's obvious. Every single unlawful government quasi entity, which is just a private entity where people are making money off of it, like the TSA and all that stuff, MTA, all those bus companies, train companies, all those entities are private quasi government entities. They're private. People own them shits, but they're backed by the government, so they're making money. So everybody getting money. So it's a collusion of immense proportions that people don't even realize because it's been instituted for so long. Because they're just not looking, and that's honestly all it is. So let's get into these headlines, folks. 2023 Women's World Cup sets the tennis record. Good for them. Maybe they'll earn some money. So this is the finance headline. We're gonna know it. U.S. Navy's Death Star destroyer prepares for hypersonic weapon installation. This looks like a unique headline. I'm pretty sure we're not gonna find that anywhere else. But it's interesting. As you guys know, a lot of stuff is going on in China lately, but this is just a simple LNG trading headline, right? China emerges as a global LNG trading power, so that's a specific headline. We're back, and Zero Hedge puts out tons of headlines. So apparently, lightning sparks fire at Biden's house. What a coinky dink! Oh, this was back in the day. Nobody cares. All right, moving along. Sorry for wasting your time, guys. Come on. Thank you. All right. Just then, this is 4 hours ago. This dude is such a disaster that I just can't see how he does finish this presidency. And when you look at all of the things that are playing out now as far as his child goes, or son, whatever, and his fam, right? Because his whole fam is tied to it. It ain't just them two. And that's the thing that I don't think a lot of people even realize. It's not just them two; it's their whole family. The other brother and the sister too. Like these all, and then his brother Biden, the Let's Go Brandon's brother, his actual brother is tied in. Like there's a whole thing going on here. Like there's a whole gang of people. So there's a whole thing going on. It seems like people are working on actually bringing these people down. I don't know. That's what it seems like, right? It remains to be seen if anything's going to actually happen, like it never does, right? Because people are pissed. People are tired. People understand more so than ever what's going on, even if not at such a significant clip that it's impactful, right? So here's one that's interesting. We have the Coinbase acquires stake in USD stablecoin issuer Circle. That one's hitting $2. I'm pretty sure it hit it. Oh no, it didn't hit here. But these dudes must have just been off today. Didn't hit here either. Disclose TV. Let's see if it hit Insider Paper. Looks like these guys are doing more generic news nowadays. Pretty much everything NBC News and New York Times has told you about Ukraine war is a lie. Oh, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Not even news, but yeah. Let's see. Trump confirms he will be arrested on Thursday. So funny. Let's see. Tucker Carlson, yada yada. 6 hours ago, right? Yeah. You guys see a lot of domestic news in this one. And by domestic, I mean U.S. Alrighty. Not on that one. So as you guys saw, it only hit Blockworks and Watcher.Guru. We Watcher.Guru about the specific crypto stuff. So important to note. Yeah, as you guys can see, there's a whole lot, right? When we look through that, as a matter of fact, let's go. Train derailment in Oklahoma 9 hours ago, right? Let's just do 12 hours. 13 hours. Multiple pedestrians hit as truck driver tried to escape after doing donuts at busy Atlanta intersection. Look, I don't even want to put the video on just in case it shows any of that shit. I've seen car accidents. You don't want to see that. It's pretty nasty. It's nasty stuff. China accuses government employee of spying for the CIA. I laugh because, yeah, obviously there's a spy everywhere. Literally. Like, this should be common knowledge by now. So, it's kind of a pointless headline in my mind. Breaking. U.S. citizens in Belarus should depart immediately. They're trying to strum up. Okay. So if you guys can't tell, they're trying to strum up the same scenarios that led to war in Iraq 2003. And I'm so fucking dead spot on about this that I feel it in my bones. It's so disturbing. Uh, I just know is what's happening. I just everything. I'm reliving it. I already went through it, right? Because I did the Iraq thing, did the Afghanistan thing, so I already lived through it. So I'm crystal clear on exactly what's going on, right? And it's really just a whole bunch of connecting dots, reading what's being admitted, because what's being admitted is what they're going to act on, right? These headlines is what's going to shape the world that they want to see you thinking exist, because they're presuming you're paying attention and complying with their demands and orders. And as you guys have noticed, a lot of people do it by default, not even knowing that they don't have to. That when they don't agree with something, they don't have to just do it because that's the way it's been. It's literally the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life. Ever since I was a kid, I've hated that fucking statement. And I still fucking hate it because it's asinine. What the fuck you mean that's the way it's always been? You mean to tell me some dumb shit can stay dumb just cuz? I'm sorry, but I just cannot comply with that notion whatsoever. And Mr. Robert Keller, I am using twitter.com. This here is TweetDeck. So yeah, you can search that TweetDeck. This is TweetDeck. This is what I've used the whole time I've been on Twitter. So I don't even know if people even still have access to it. I don't know. Because once you have IP access, even if it's through a VPN, they ain't just kicking you off. It's still kind of that metadata kind of keeps you on the site. So I don't know if it's all premium or whatever now. No problem, brother. But just some technical details that if you to keep in mind. If you can't access the site, something to be aware of. Might have to go premium. And it's pretty whack. It's not worth the $8. You'll notice that once even if you make the money, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're really not getting nothing for them $8. If you get paid, cool, you get your $8 back. So no, it's a wash. It's all good. If you make more than that, great. Even better. But the odds of you making it, you gotta be out there pumping tweets like a freaking robot. You gotta schedule them and all that. You gotta just game plan that shit. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people do it. You seeing people getting paid out there. They getting paid. They getting paid. So be mindful of what you post. And be aware that whatever you put, and I had to say this in a spaces the other day, whatever you say on the internet, whatever you type on the internet can be used against you. It's a public forum. That's why I don't mind saying the shit I say. I can back it up. That's why it sounds crazy to y'all, because y'all can't, but I can. It's no thing. So I show y'all all the time how easy it is. So, figure it out. Go back and watch some fucking streams. I don't know. Shit is not rocket science. All you gotta do is search. So you guys see all these things that are happening. All these pieces are moving around at the same time. You got bricks happening in the Watcher Guru column, right? You got China Z arrives at the summit. They got shit recorded over here. Unusual Wells is showing it, right? 44 minutes ago. That's how important it was. Homie didn't do a damn thing yesterday, but he posted that shit today, right? So these are the things we got to be aware of. Federal loans, student loan bills return in October, but a growing chorus of borrowers say they simply can't or won't pay. And look, I'm one of those people that isn't going to pay, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to get away with it too, and I'm going to tell you why. That contract was made in bad faith because at the time upon which I signed that dotted line, I was not under the impression that I could not discharge that debt in a bankruptcy. Otherwise, I would not have taken on that debt. So that contract was entered into me with me in bad faith. So because of that, I will not comply with paying that promissory note. They can kiss my ass. Fuck out of here. I don't give a fuck if they change the law. I signed that contract under certain conditions and circumstances. And that shit was not evident on that document, and I read it. And I know how to read. I was already a grown ass man at the time. So I don't think so. And I ain't paid a cent, and I ain't gonna. They can miss me with that. I think anybody that pays is a sucker. I'm sorry. Like you got played and you said okay, it's cool. I'm gonna pay you anyway. Like nah, I'm good. 401k balances per generation fidelity. Let's check it out. And we're gonna go over that video that everybody was posting, acting like somebody didn't let them know what that number was a couple of days ago. Fuck, I said, yeah, done told you. All right, let's get rid of this here real quick. Let me get rid of myself as well. There we go. All right. This is funny because you can't put money in a 401k, right? You can only put like up to whatever 18,000 or whatever that number is, 19,000. I can't remember what it is anymore. Because who cares, right? It's a meager number. The average is 7,100. The median is 2,500 for Gen Z. Millennials is 44,000. Well, 45,000. Median 15,000. Interesting. I'm noticing a pattern here. Pretty much the same pattern for Gen X, right? It's 30. It's 30 to 66 basically. 33 to 66. 145.50. $1,000. $145,500 average for Gen X with a median of $44,000, and Boomers are at 215,000 with a median of 61,200. So basically, everybody's at a median to average of 1 to 3, right? That's what basically we're seeing 1, 3, 3.5, something like that. So this is all money that if people decide to withdraw it, they're going to pay penalties on it. Most states, those penalties they range from 8 to 20%, I think. I don't think anybody has a penalty that's greater than 20%, but I'm not 100% clear on those rules and regs anymore because I haven't worked on that side of the business for a while, so just don't quote me on that. But that's what it was when I was present in that side of the business. And these are the things you got to know, right? Because that's how you can deduce what that overall economic measure is going to be, right? That's going to enter crypto because guess what? This is money that is not in crypto. And you can guesstimate or search how many people are in each population, right? Each segment of the population, right? Now, median is the value I would go with because that's a lower value. That's a more conservative number, right? And again, all we're doing here is cross-checking, cross-referencing, taking all these random values, aggregating them, trying to get a view of the big picture. Because the big picture is so much easier to put together than the little picture, right? It's hard to see what Gen Z is going to do, what millennials are going to do, what Gen X is going to do, what boomers are going to do. It's so much easier to see what everybody's going to do, though, right? I think that's easy. Because you got to know all the epithets and trinkets and whatever moves each segment, Human psychology is much easier to read than a trend in a specific generation. Like that shit is not sticky, and that's what drives a lot of differences between generations, and that's what now we need to take a look at. We need to take a look at human behavior from a financial perspective, such that you see what people are getting themselves into, so that you avoid it and don't put yourself in that same scenario. You know what I mean? That's ultimately what it's all about. Yeah, all right, we're gonna just pass that. Japan 10-year bond yield rises back to highest since 2014. So again, it's just trend after trend of economy after economy, right? Monetary system after monetary system, just recalibrating their interest rates so much higher than you would want to see at a turning of such a drastic. I mean, Japan was observed for 30 years Then they finally went NERP. The zero interest rate lower bound policy, zero interest rate policy, ZLB, ZIRP, and then you had negative interest rate policy, where the numbers were, you were paying to borrow, you were paying so that they can borrow money from you. Yo, I could not for the life of it believe that that was happening. I'm still fucking shocked that that shit is still going on. I mean, it might be minuscule amount relative to what it was, but the fact that it's still happening is ridiculous. Like, what are people thinking? How can you even participate? Like, I don't care what the investment guidelines say. Don't give them an inch. Jesus, insane. All right. Oof. So they're still dealing with Fukushima over there. I don't know enough about nuclear, to be honest. I just am aware that nuclear waste is bad, but I'm not sure that that's actually nuclear waste, right? Like, we really don't know, and this is something that I have a hard time explaining to people because they're just so used to taking whatever they're given as fact to be fact. And, sometimes it's not. And I had to come to terms with that. Like, I know I'm good at math and all that, but you know what? I ended up realizing a lot of the math, not a lot, but some of the math that I know, it ain't math. It's just constants. Constants are where they get people to think they know some shit. Because, gravity is X, blah 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 is Y, da 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 is Z. Nah, you don't know what you're talking about, bro. Stop it. Because you're missing all these other variables along. Missing all it's just like these finance people talking about variable at risk. How you talking about a circular input, bro? Shut up. Like, people really try to be adult about this, and I just can't. I can't take these people serious. And these are the people that are major behemoths in the industry. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. You can't even do simple math. Get out of here. Rich Men North of Richmond is the name of the song. There you go. I'm afraid to say we already seeing that lost generation now. When you look at the landscape of people that are 30 and under and how they act and behave and adapt, they don't. I work with these fools every day. I see these people walking around. I just don't see it. I don't see the person that's going to be able to adapt as easily as some of us will be able to. So there's going to be some suffering on some fronts for some people because they're not getting prepared. There's people that are not reducing their standard of living with time when they need to. So ultimately, they're going to be impacted in such a way that they're going to feel a major, major pain, at some point in time because that's how it goes. That's how everybody's sucking and acting emo right now instead of just doing the work and learning and delaying gratification. Right? It's real easy. So this is why we can sit down, take a look at the playing field, which is all these headlines, and see what their game plan is. Right? Look at they trying to drum up World War III, Chinese spying, multiple pedestrians hit, all this crazy stuff. Danish F-16s for Ukraine and escalation. Yeah, sure, everything's an escalation, but nothing happens. Why is a general meeting the Pope? Why are you discussing a war that ain't got nothing to do with the U.S.? Clown. North Korea, Kim, overseas cruise missile tests at Seoul, U.S. start drills. Sure they do. Yeah. 4 arrested in Uganda over at. Ooh, nah. Enjoy. Taiwan's leader says 2004 defense bought budget hit record 19 billion. Woo! Taiwan getting ready for World War III. North Korea abruptly cancels first post-COVID international commercial flight. I didn't know they had any, so whatever. Jakarta orders civil servant work from home to improve air quality. I guess there's a lot of dump truck driving from the 50s there in the 2020s. I don't know. I don't see how that really is gonna do anything. Whatever. Australia's biggest warship deployed in Philippine drills. Australia agrees to buy long-range missiles from the U.S. Of course. Why not? U.S. urges through Saudi a thorough Saudi probe into alleged killings of Ethiopian migrants. How about that? America trying to look like the good guy for once. China Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Taiwan has never been a country. That will never be a country. Yeah, I don't know if this is true, but I gotta check because that shit wild. A lot of times somebody will post a link somewhere, and of course, none of us speak Mandarin, but if somebody catches them at least talking, picture or whatever, it's good enough for me because I can find the place. Can't find the person though. All right, let's see. So you see all these nonsensical things that these politicians are doing, right? I mean, look at this. Even Germany, almost 2/3 of Germany want a new government. Yo, when I was living in Germany, I would tell people all the obviousness of the shit that's apparent to them 20 years later. Literally 20 freaking years later to the year. I mean, it's crazy for me. So serious. And you know, everybody's going through the same nonsense economically. Inflation is running amok everywhere. No matter where you look, there's something to cause it. You got to really start thinking about it. Take your situation seriously, cause they gonna line it up, man, and they're not gonna care how it turns out for you. You gotta care. They out here pushing fake. They out here pushing fake vaccines on people still. Like they got no problem pushing the shit. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. In 1981, the cost of a single family home was 66,000. The average home price currently in America is 410,000, and we know for a fact the quality has proportionally decreased to that equivalent amount. Decreased that equivalent rate, excuse me, during that same period of time. So, it's all these things we can point out, see them happening, right? Kid exposes Walmart for false advertising, school supply prices, like all these crazy things. Oh, yeah. In case you missed it, Vitalik is going to dump $1 million at ETH on ETH. Don't forget it. In January, this guy was going to give people back $1.5 million for what he scammed them for, but I guess he changed his mind. Like, nah, I'm gonna just keep that $1.5 million. Ah, shit. Yeah, this is a great headline because think about the odds of people achieving that. It's damn near zero for 98% of the population. Zero. That's wild. Gen Z and millennials need between 3 and 5 million in retirement savings to live comfortably due to inflation. And what the funny thing is that you can only invest like 18,000 a year per IRS code. How you supposed to get 3 million? You do the math on that. 3 million divided by 18,000. Have fun. Make it a generous 20,000 because you can't do that much. But just become, give yourself a little slack there or whatever. U.S. government debt rises by 5.2 billion a day. Never mind that next decade nonsense. These fools spending that shit like it's going out of style, because it is gonna go out of style. Damn. Well, I cracked that one, didn't I? Holy crap! All right. Let's wrap this up. This is already hitting an hour 10 minutes, man. As you guys can see, this dude is literally just bumbling and looking like a buffoon everywhere. You guys see that they just doing, sad music top Gen Z Spotify chart. I don't know what Gen Z is. I don't think I want to know. I hope that's not the youngest generation that they calling that now. Let's see. Yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it, man. I mean, you guys already see how this dude acting crazy. I mean, he just being dead wrong, being called out by media left and right. I mean, this is bananas, right? So, we'll catch up at some other time, guys. You guys see how things are shaking out. Start preparing however you can. Get your food up, get your stores up, because they're going to do something and they're going to try to. All we can do is hope for the best. But as you guys can see, the cost of living is not conducive to what's conducive to us. So we got to take care of self and ensure our family and friends are as good as they can be too. Because even if they don't listen, you don't want them suffering either. So just do what you got to do as best as you can. Because it's about to get weird out here, man. You see what they doing to these places. They burning them up. I never really paid attention to that. But then, once you start looking, it's like, oh, duh. I mean, there's so much stuff I can't even tell you guys. I don't think I'm crazy. But once you sit there and look at it, you're going to be like, oh, well, I guess I agree. So, they trying to push AI plus power. I can't remember what it's called. Basically, there's AI out there that can do some pretty advanced stuff that you're not supposed to know exists. So it's things like that are going to be put into place to allow people to manipulate you into doing things you don't want to do. And this is why you got to be aware of your basic bill of rights and all of that, because otherwise you can't play a game that you can't win. I don't know how many times I tell people that one, because I mean it's one of those things that's so obvious, but yet people don't want to bother. They want to be on it, and it's like, yo, sometimes you gotta be off it, regardless. You just gotta chill sometimes. That's just how it is, man. We don't gotta like it, but we sure as hell gotta deal with it if we're trying to find success. It's just the way it goes. All right, let's see if we got some. Oh yeah, if you guys haven't heard this, you gotta hear this. Hold on, come on. I don't actually know if you guys hear that shit. Actually, yeah. No, not that one. What was I gonna put? There. I can't. That's right. This is what I was gonna put. Let me know if you guys can hear this video. I'm gonna play it. Let me know if you guys can hear the video. You can't see it, but let me know if you can hear it. Can you guys hear it? Can't hear. Okay. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay, you should be able to hear the audio now.
Of making money out of thin air? Maybe we do, but we're the U.S. government. Crypto bros make money literally by making money, and they've made over $1 trillion out of thin air. They'll accuse the U.S. government of making money out of thin air. Maybe we do, but we're the U.S. government. Crypto bros make money literally by making money, and they've made over $1 trillion out of thin air. They'll accuse the U.S. government of making money out of thin air. Maybe we do, but we're the U.S. government. Crypto bros make money literally by making money, and they made over $1 trillion.
This is a very
out of
important
thin air.
statement.
They'll accuse the U.S. government of making money out of thin air. Maybe we do, but we're the U.S. government.
Yeah, that's right. All right, guys. I hope all of these things I'm pointing out are pointing in a certain direction for you. It's lining up. You know, some of the things that you wouldn't expect to happen, but are. Right? You see a lot of things, man, that are happening now that just don't make sense, that shouldn't be happening, you know, and there's a reason for that. So you got to be aware, you got to be attentive, you got to be ready, because you don't know where they're going to try to impose disaster next, invoke disaster next. You know, you guys got to really start taking care of yourselves. That's where we're at. So with that, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this information is useful, because I'm really trying to point out. I mean, in those headlines were just for the day, you know, and you guys are seeing how it's pretty much the same consistent flow, unless they're onesies and twosies. Like, the flow for the information is pretty much consistent, you know, and that's what I want you guys to understand. All this stuff is coordinated. It's not happening by mistake. Hold on, guys. It was too long, right? Because it didn't happen at all during the stream until right now. So yeah, just take stock of what's happening. You know, it's critical, because you don't know where they're gonna strike next. And you know, I advise personally, my opinion, that you steer clear of highly populated areas. You know, you want to go to a mall, save that shit for after all this blows over. Buy your shit online. Do as much shit online as you can. You know, I know going out to eat is a thing, so never mind that. But understand, if you go to densely populated areas, that's typically where they like to attack. Google it. Don't take my word for it. Just look into it. With that, good luck out there. Be safe. Stay dangerous. Don't let nobody tell you what to do. You know what I mean? Take care of yourself. Peace. Right? The reality is that I want to be rich as fuck. There's only one way to be rich as fuck. That's by sitting on your ass the longest.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
That's the secret. The guy well told you. Richard done told you. I done told you. Kareem done told you. Maddie done told you. Everybody done told you. Everybody done told you. These motherfuckers still acting like they don't know. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
100% safe. There's plenty of games left.
Valiant done told you. Yo, everybody said it. Man, hey, you know what it is, man? Everybody done told you. Y'all deep. Everybody.